Hi, welcome to the show. It doesn't have a name yet. I haven't given it a name. I haven't really thought that through. Let's just call it Dan Pena Answers Life Questions. So, let's start over. Hi, welcome to the show Dan Pena Answers Life Questions. I'm going to be basically your host. I'm going to answer life questions. It's pretty self-explanatory. But the questions come from Facebook, from some of my friends. So, without further ado, the first question comes from Megan Rossler. Hi, Megan. She writes, "Why are there so many songs about rainbows?" Well, that's quite simple, Megan. You see, everybody writes a song about something they don't know about. Or have problems with, I should say. And the problem is no one really knows what a rainbow is or where it comes from or why it has or why it's multicolors, you know? These questions can't be answered by any man. You could ask the smartest of scholars and they wouldn't be able to tell you what a rainbow is. So we just assume that rainbows are there in the sky. And we write songs about them because we don't understand their true power. But there's always been the thought that if you could harness a rainbow's energy and its power, you could possibly use it for evil. So a lot of people like to, mostly mystics, like to sing about these. Next question comes from Stephanie Garcia Barrios. She says, "I have a question. Why when I start to type is there in my Google search bar, Google's suggestion to complete my sentences is there any way I can get this popular guy to get me pregnant? Please, dear Dan, help me out." Well, you see, Stephanie, it's really simple. The reason why when you start typing that into the Google search bar and that pops up is because that's a very popular question. I recently started temping at a warehouse folding boxes, and without gloves, I might add. I don't suggest it. It's like origami, but with saw blades. It's really horrible on your hands. So anyways, I start work at this temp agency, and about 90 people ask me, "Oh, hey Dan, what's going on today?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing much, just folding these boxes like I normally am." They're like, "Oh, do you know how I can get this popular guy to get me pregnant?" And I'm like, it's a tough one. Slip him a Mickey. It's what's on everybody's mind. For a time, we as Americans go through these phases, and I remember when Hollywood was going through the phase where almost every single movie had some sort of pig or a whale or something, like it was really into animals. And then there was like the whole comic book phase where Marvel was pumping out like all these movies and stuff, and right now it's really all about vampires with Vampire Diaries and the Twilight and the True Blood. So that's basically what it is we're transitioning. We're not transcending. We're transitioning into a new era where everybody wants to know how the popular guy can put a seed in there. Well, I hope that answers your question. It's on everybody's mind. And the next question comes from Jessica Kelly, and she writes, "Dan, why does peanut butter taste so yummy, but peanuts themselves are just so-so?" That is a very tough one. I'm gonna have to go to my friend George Washington Carver. "Hi, I'm George Washington Carver. I sound like Sean Connery slightly. And I think peanut butter's better than peanuts because of the butter. I put a lot of butter inside of the peanuts, and that makes it extra yummy. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was George Washington Carver. A very brilliant man, invented peanut butter. I think that's all he did. I don't know. Tom Freilich writes to me, my question is simple. Silverio Avellino. Why? Silverio Avellino is, a dear friend of mine, and a mutual friend through Tom Freilich. And Silverio does have a purpose. You know, he's indirectly everybody's comic relief, so to speak. He's so sure of himself, yet at the same time, he doesn't know half of the shit that he's talking about, which makes it fun to keep him around. Very reliable guy, very awesome, very talented, but street smarts, he just kind of guesses at most things, you know, and so that's basically where Silverio is you know, he like, if he had his own talk show, he would basically tell you that, like, 2012 is gonna end because somebody said that the calendar runs out. You know, it doesn't really check into his facts, but he'll swear to it, and he'll hold on to that steadfast, you know, because he's super Italian like that, you know. He's like very convinced and refuses to believe anything else. And then when you prove to him that he's wrong, he's like, meh, mumafai. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. Goodbye, America.